before smartphones controlled our lives, before social media decided our confidence, before Google answered every question. There was a generation that learned everything the hard way. They failed without filters, they succeeded without followers, they struggled without complaining online, and they survived without asking for attention. This generation is called Gen X, and today, we are going to uncover the hidden psychology behind the most mentally resilient generation in modern history. By the end of this video, you will understand why Gen X thinks differently, works differently, and lives differently from almost everyone today. Gen X was born in a world without instant comfort, no fast internet, no online shopping, no streaming platforms, no smart devices. If they wanted information, they went to libraries. If they wanted entertainment, they waited for TV schedules. If they wanted connection, they met people in real life. This environment trained their brains to be patient, disciplined, and independent. They learned early that nothing comes instantly. Everything requires effort. One of the strongest psychological traits of Gen X is self-reliance. They were raised in a time when parents expected children to solve problems on their own. Falling was normal. Getting back up was necessary. There were no participation trophies. Success had to be earned. Failure had to be accepted. This built strong emotional muscles. Gen X learned not to depend on external validation. Their confidence came from experience, not likes. Another powerful trait is emotional control. Gen X grew up watching adults handle stress without talking about it much. Mental health awareness was limited. Therapy was rare. Emotional expression was not encouraged. So they learned to manage emotions internally. While this made many of them strong, it also made some emotionally silent. They don't always talk about pain, but they carry it quietly. Gen X also developed a strong work ethic. They entered the workforce when competition was tough and job security was uncertain. They saw layoffs. They saw economic shifts. They learned that loyalty alone does not protect you. Skill does. So they focused on building competence. They value professionalism. They respect time. They dislike laziness. To them, discipline is freedom. Unlike younger generations, Gen X does not overshare. They value privacy. They don't post every thought. They don't document every meal. They don't announce every emotion. Their psychology believes that some things should remain personal. This makes them emotionally independent and mentally private. Gen X also has a unique relationship with technology. They are digital immigrants, not digital natives. They adapted to computers, smartphones, and social media later in life. This makes them more balanced users. They use technology as a tool, not as an identity. They remember life before screens, so they don't let screens control their life. Another hidden trait is realism. Gen X is practical. They don't believe in unrealistic dreams. They believe in calculated risks. They understand that life is unfair. They don't expect constant happiness. They expect responsibility. This mindset makes them emotionally stable in crises. Gen X is also highly loyal. In friendships, relationships, and work, they value commitment. They don't switch easily. They don't quit quickly. When they invest deeply. This comes from growing up in a time when relationships were built slowly, not swiped instantly. However, this generation also carries silent struggles. Many Gen X individuals feel overlooked. They are stuck between boomers and millennials. Their achievements are rarely celebrated. Their sacrifices are rarely discussed. They often feel invisible, but they rarely complain. Their psychology teaches them to endure quietly. Gen X also struggles with emotional expression. Because they were taught to be strong, many find it difficult to ask for help. They internalize stress. They normalize exhaustion. This can lead to burnout. Their strength sometimes becomes their weakness. Despite this, Gen X remains one of the most resilient generations. They adapted to massive social, economic, and technological changes. They moved from analog to digital, from letters to emails, from landlines to smartphones, from physical stores to online platforms, and they survived every transition. Their mindset is built on responsibility, patience, and realism. They don't chase trends. They build foundations. They don't seek attention. They seek stability. They don't fear hard work. They respect it. If you are Gen X, understand this. Your quiet strength matters. Your discipline matters. Your experience matters. You are the bridge between two worlds. And without you, modern society would collapse. And if you are younger, learn from them. Learn patience. Learn consistency. Learn resilience. Learn self-reliance. These qualities never go out of style. Because in a world obsessed with speed, noise, and shortcuts, Gen X mastered the art of endurance, and that is true psychological power. And this psychological power does not come from fame, likes, or attention. It comes from years of hard work, silent struggle, and strong discipline. Gen X learned that life does not give easy shortcuts. They understood that success needs patience and consistency. This generation was trained by real experiences, not by motivational quotes. They failed, they fell, and they learned. Every mistake made them stronger. Every problem taught them a lesson. Instead of giving up, they kept moving forward. Gen X people know how to stay calm in difficult situations. When problems come, they don't panic. They think, they plan, they act. Their mindset is focused on solutions, not excuses. They also respect experience. They trust people who have lived through challenges. They know that real knowledge comes from practice, not just from books or social media. Family is very important to Gen X. They take responsibility seriously. They work hard to support their loved ones. Sometimes, they carry stress quietly, without sharing it with anyone. They often use humor to hide pain. Instead of talking about problems, they joke about them. This helps them stay strong even in tough times. In relationships, Gen X values loyalty and commitment. They believe love is built with time, patience, and effort. They don't easily give up on people they care about. They are also very adaptable. They learned new technologies and new ways of life many times. This made them mentally flexible and open-minded. Sometimes, Gen X forgets to appreciate themselves. They move from one duty to another without resting. They rarely celebrate their own success. They also find it hard to ask for help. They believe being strong means handling everything alone. But true strength also means knowing when to seek support. Even today, Gen X plays a strong role in society. They guide younger people, they keep families stable, they support workplaces, they connect old values with new ideas. They may not be loud, they may not seek attention, but their influence is everywhere. If you are Gen X, be proud of yourself. Your journey was not easy. Your strength is real. Your experience matters. And if you are learning from Gen X, remember this: real strength is quiet, real power is calm, and real wisdom comes from life.